Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I was requested to show how I actually use my Lemouchet alcohol markers to do skin. Now I've not worked out I've still not worked out how to actually blend with these, considering I have had them for quite a while. I've got a mixture in here. I've got Lemouchet, I've got Winsor & Newton and a couple of the Copic chose. But over them ones I do prefer the Lemouchet ones. So the colour that I've chosen is Milky White. I do suggest you always swatch your colours out. So I just have a little spur pad that I do all my swatching in before I actually choose the colours. So I'm just going to start off here. Like I said, this colour is Milky White 132. I did purchase the set of, I believe it was 24. Yeah, it says on the packet 24. But I would like to get the full set of them. I really do enjoy these markers. I like these a lot better than the Ohuhu. Right, so I'm going to start off with the smaller areas. I have noticed you're better off starting with areas that are smaller, opposed to doing one big area, and then if you do that, it's going to end up too streaky. And I more or less always use the broad tip side. So I'm trying to go into the hairline as much as I can. I'm not worried too much because I am going to go over this with pencil to add shading. Just bring the colour down. Just don't let an area dry and then you're going over it with the alcohol marker. That's where you will get streaks. So you have to work, I wouldn't say mega quick, but you do have to work at a steady pace just to get the colour down. And you know, I didn't put a blotting sheet behind this, so let me just check. You see, it's not bleeding through to that page, but just to be safe, where's one of my sheets of paper? There we go. I did forget to do this. This is what I usually do, just put a piece of paper behind because it will bleed through. Luckily this is quite thick paper. It reminds me of watercolour paper, this. So I was lucky that I completely forgot. Right, so let's start at the top. This bit I am going to have to do a little bit faster because it is a bigger area. So be a little bit more careful around the hairline and bring the colour down. The beauty with the alcohol markers is you can go over quite a few times. So if you do have any blotchy areas, you know, you can fix it like that. I think I might need to get a new set of these because some of them, this one's okay, but the colour that I did initially pick is running really low on ink, unfortunately. But I have used these quite a lot and I have had them for quite some time. I more or less always go over the lip colour, whether it's with watercolour, alcohol markers, pencil, whatever. I always put the same colour skin because it's the same as us, and then I'll add the colour afterwards. So you can see there it's a little bit blotchy. So I'm going to go over and do another layer. It will darken it up a little bit, but as we carry on and it dries, you'll see it get lighter and lighter. Well, you need to be sure the colour that you're picking is light enough that you want if you are going in with a few layers like I am here. It just evens it out. So when I've done this little area, I'm going to check the back and see how much it is bleeding through, just for reference, as you can see. So if you did this on Create Space paper, please remember to put a spare piece of paper behind it. I've just got a thick piece of, it's not cardstock, but it's thick paper in a plastic sleeve, and I use this for all sorts. And the same thing again. Trying to work as quick as I can, but still being sort of neat. So Jude, thank you for requesting me to do this. Otherwise I wouldn't be sat here this morning colouring in this book. And this will be the first page that I've done out of this one. You could even go in and base the hair, same method, just so you've got something to work with when you go over the top with pencils. Right, so I'm quite happy with that. It is still wet at the moment, so we will leave that to dry. I think I will go over the flowers and base them. So I've got my little swatch book, and let's test for a nice pink. That's a very bright pink. Let's see what the Copic one's like. That's a nice pink colour, we'll use that one. So let's just go in, same thing. It is a little bit easier with the Copics with having the brush nib, but I still do prefer the Lemouchets. Especially for the price difference. I think for the pack of 168 plus blenders is about £70, 65 to £70, where these Copic Chows cost, I think it was around £21 for 5 colours, and one of them has run out already, like I said. So yeah, big price difference. I'm mainly doing the flowers just to give the skin a chance to dry before I go in with the pencils. It's not too bad with these flowers because they're quite grayscaled, so I don't have to be as careful as I have to be with the skin. Right, see, that's quite nice that already, and we'll just go in with a darker pink. I don't actually know what sort of flowers these are, otherwise I would have looked at a reference picture. But it's fine, they can be pink, they can be whatever colour you want. I would have liked to actually base the hair as well, but I don't think I've got the colour that I want in the Lemouchets, so I'll just do that at a later date with pencils. Right, so So I will come back in a couple of minutes just to make sure that it's completely dry before we do work with the pencils. Right, so she's all dry now. I picked out all of my colours. I'll mention it just in case anybody's interested. I use the Helix, the crank sharpener with my Prismas, and I don't have too many problems. I mean, I still have breakages, but it's nowhere near as bad as when I was using just the normal manual one. And look at the size of my light peach now. I had to put it in a pencil extender. It's getting too small. So I'm going to start off with lavender, which is PC 934, just to add a little bit of shading. I know it's purple, but it does work, I promise. I got this combination of colours from Debbie Loves to Colour. I've actually memorised what the colours are now, and they seem to work quite well. The only thing with this paper, like I said, it is quite similar to watercolour paper, so it has got quite a lot of tooth. So whenever you put a pencil down, it does take either a few layers or quite a lot of pressure or blending solution, blending pencil to get rid of that tooth. So I'm not using hard pressure. I'm just letting the pencil glide over the paper, just enough just to get a little bit of colour down. So put a little bit behind the ear and under the jaw. They're all so sweet, these pictures. I just wonder why he never did any little boys. They're all girls. So there's no grayscale on the border, so I'm not gonna add any myself. We're just gonna stick with what the artist has already put down for us. There's a little bit there. Right, so we are working from dark to light. So now I'm going to go in with Nectar, which is PC 1092, and basically you just go over that shade and bring it out a little bit more. It does completely cover the lavender purple colour up, but it's just there for the base. It might look a little bit crazy now, but I promise it does come together in the end. You know what, I'm going to put a tiny little bit right behind the ear, just where that shadow is. I've missed that little area, like I always do, so I'm glad I've caught it early. And now I'm going to go in with Peach, which is PC 939, and the exact same thing again. Just bringing the colour out a little bit more each time. So I would love to see if anybody else uses this sort of technique with the alcohol markers and pencils. If you do, I'd love to see it on Instagram. Have you tagged me? My name on Instagram is the same as YouTube, Colour Me Stress Free. I do post there quite often. I don't post all of my finished pages, but a good portion of them. I'm going to bring this colour down now just a little bit. Just a little bit on her back and behind that arm a little bit. Now I'm going to go in with the light peach, which I'm going to have to get my other one to tell you what numbers it is. It's PC927. It's that same thing again. I'm using a little bit more of a hard pressure knife. And with having the base of the alcohol markers already down, I'm not having to worry too much about the larger areas because the colour is already there. This skin tone is matching the pink flowers beautifully. This is the point as well where you could possibly add a bit of blush, but I'm going to leave her as she is, no makeup or anything. I hope the camera is picking it up, because there is colour going down, it is quite subtle. But I'm using this as a blender as well, with it being a lighter shade. Right, the last colour is cream. I have got a white out, I'm not sure if I'm going to use that yet. So this is PC914, and this should be the last layer. If it needs blending out a little bit more, I will use the white. I don't think I'm going to need to go in with any sort of blender because I've done most of it with light peach. And that is sort of it, guys. That's sort of what I do with skin tones. If I hadn't have gone in with the second layer of alcohol markers, it probably would have been a bit patchy here. So yeah, I would suggest going in with 2 layers. Let's just put a little bit of white just here, just to blend that out a little bit more. So the rest of the picture I will just do off camera, and you'll see it in the finished pages, because I just mainly wanted to work on the skin for this one. But I do hope that it's helped, you know, and it makes you a little bit more confident using alcohol markers with pencils. I should be practicing a little bit more with just using the alcohol markers and blending the colours together, but I have tried numerous times and they're not my friends when it comes to blending. So this is the way that I've chosen to use mine. I do hope that it helped in some sort of way. And thank you very much guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.